Hi, my name is Robert Shelley with Shelley Law, and my law firm assists nurse practitioners with employment contract and independent contractor agreement issues. Today I'm going to talk about how much is the average malpractice insurance for a nurse practitioner. So a few things before we get into the price. You need to first identify what type of policy that you want or maybe provided by your employer. And so there are two main types of policies. You have an occurrence-based policy and a claims-made policy. And so I'll talk about the differences between the two. A claims-made policy simply means that a policy has to be in effect when a claim is actually filed. And so in that circumstance, you need what's called tail insurance. So think of it this way. When you leave an employer, there still is an amount of time that somebody can sue you. In most states, that's 2 years. And so you need a policy that covers the gap in between when you leave the employer and then the last day somebody can sue you when you have a claims-made policy. So that's the first thing. Now, an occurrence-based policy simply means a policy has to be in effect when the malpractice event occurs, and therefore no tail insurance is necessary. So there is a price difference. An occurrence-based policy is about 1/3 more expensive than a claims-made policy. Now, most of the time when you are quoted a price, or I guess amongst the industry, most people use the claims-made price as the average. So if you get a price, or at least maybe talking to a colleague about how much their malpractice costs, you can ask them what is their policy type. So is it occurrence-based or claims-made? And then if they say, okay, it's claims-made and it costs, $6,000 a year, that's high. I'm just using that as an example. And so if their claims-made was $6,000, their occurrence would be 1/3 more, so that'd be $8,000. Now, as far as the average price, depends on three things. One, the geographic region that you're practicing in. Two, what your specialty is. And then three, how long you've been practicing. And so I can't give you a specific for each city or state or anything like that. I'm just going to give you kind of a national average. And the national average is around $1,700 a year for a nurse practitioner professional liability insurance. Now, once again, it depends upon what state you're in, what specialty you're in, and then how long you've been practicing. If you're in a higher acuity specialty, certainly, women's health or something like that, it will be more expensive. If you are in a state that doesn't have reasonable caps on medical malpractice damages, it will be more. And then once again, the more experience you have, the more patients you've seen over a period of time, the more your policy will cost as well. If I had the choice between occurrence or claims made, I would choose an occurrence-based policy most of the time. A claims-made policy works out financially if you stay with an employer for a long period of time. But to be honest, nowadays, it's someone can't ever go into a job thinking they're going to, stay there for 10 years or something like that. So that's what the cost is. One final consideration, if you do have a claims-made policy, you need tail insurance. Tail is generally about twice what your annual premium is. So if your annual premium is $1,700, then your tail cost would be around $3,400. That's a one-time cost. You don't have to pay it every year, but that's something to consider if you have the opportunity or the choice between an occurrence-based or claims-made policy. So anyway, that's how much the average malpractice insurance costs in the United States. If you have any questions, feel free to contact my law firm at the phone number listed below in the description. You can reach us through our website listed below as well. And appreciate you watching the video. Thanks.